Y'all, I know it's been a minute since I did an update, and that's because there's been a lot going on, and every time that I was going to update y'all, something would change. That's it. I'm going to tell y'all what's going on. Today, we are going to talk about how I'm shifting focus a little bit with Mari's Miscellany to help simplify knit and crochet project selection with project kits that give you all of the yarn, pattern, and notions needed to complete your projects, as well as with color coordinated hand-dyed yarn palettes. I'm going to talk about the process crafter and what it means if you're a process knitter or crocheter, and how my process is going to help you to concentrate on enjoying the process and finishing your project. I'll talk about how over the next year I'm going to be concentrating on new designs for knit and crochet, writing, testing, and photographing patterns and projects, and how all of that is going to come together and help make sure that you don't waste any time or money selecting knit and crochet projects. I'm going to give you step-by-step knit and crochet tutorials to get you through every one of my patterns. Now that's going to be a lot of work, and I'm going to take you along for all of that. So I hope that you like and subscribe so that you can learn, make, and share knit and crochet projects and ideas. All right, y'all, so let's get started. Let me go into some details. So let's start with process crafter, and what does that even mean? So I am a process knitter and crocheter, and what that means is that while I want to make nice things like the sweater that I knit and the shawl that I crocheted, what I'm actually enjoying when I'm making something is the process. It's the moving the hook or the needles, feeling the yarn moving through my fingers. Now that doesn't mean that I don't care what I make. I kind of don't care what I make while I'm making it, but I want all of my time, effort, and money to end up in an object that I actually want. And one of the biggest complications in being a process crafter is that enjoying the process is a little bit fickle. I want the design to be easy enough that I'm not spending all of my time counting and concentrating so that I don't mess it up. It creates its own stress for me, and that detracts from enjoying the process. But I'm also fickle enough to not want the project to be so easy that it becomes monotonous and tedious. And I also don't want the finished object to look like it was easy to make. Oh, look at this easy project. Yeah, I can tell that's an easy project. So I'm really fickle in that regard. So if you are the same way, I'm here for you. And even if you're not fickle and you don't mind going through the process of selecting yarn, making sure the colorways work together, and pairing that to a pattern, I'm still here for you if you're really particular about making sure that your colorways work together well. I know what a hassle that is. If I have a gorgeous red and I want to pair it with a black, I need that black to work well with that red. And if you're into the nuance of color and color theory and things like that, you'll understand what I mean. That's probably one of the reasons why you're turning to hand-dyed yarn, is because you want to dial in that nuance of color. You like the shifting highlights and, shadows of tonal yarn and the irregular shift of that you get with hand-dyed yarn. But you also don't want yarn that was mindlessly dyed. It looks prettier on the skein than it does in your project. That is something that I've come across so many times. That's why I started dyeing my own yarn. So understand when I say that I'm mindfully dyeing these colorways to make sure that they are consistent and appealing regardless of the circumference of the project that you're working on. This is what I'm talking about. So I am here for you You won't have to worry about whether or not these colors look good together. All you'll have to do is select 2 or more colorways within a single palette. And now in the future, all of those palettes are going to be available in 3 different weights. So I have chosen Merino Cashmere Nylon as my signature base, and I've designed a signature series color palette. This is the red, and this is 3 different weights of yarn. Fingering weight, high twist. Merino Cashmere Nylon is fantastic for socks. DK weight, and Aran or worsted weight. And as you can see, the colorway looks the same across all of the different yarn weights. Besides that Merino Cashmere Nylon base, if you watched my previous video, you heard me talking about the new sustainable merino base that I got. And this is what I was initially planning to do the signature series on. But when I found the Merino Cashmere Nylon available in 3 weights, I decided to shift to that base for my signature series and most of my upcoming palettes. This sustainable merino I'm going to use for my natural dyeing projects. I haven't started those yet, I haven't researched those yet, so these are going back into storage, and we will play with those natural dyeing methods later. Of course, I'm going to take you all on this journey. So, what we have going on for the rest of the year is going to be new knit and crochet designs. For every design that I have, I'm going to make sure that there is a knit and crochet version. Then I'm going to be working on all of the videos that are going to give you step-by-step instructions for all of the patterns that I have now and all of my future patterns. That's going to be a lot of recording, and that's going to take me through the rest of the year. In addition to that, I'm also going to school, so bouncing back and forth. I'll take a class, I'll concentrate on school for as long as it takes me to absorb the material and pass the test, and then I switch back to concentrating on the business and making something new. And I just kind of bounce back and forth there. So I'm going to continue to do that throughout the rest of the year. I'm going to put dyeing the next palette on hold until next year, because it's possible that we'll be moving at the end of this year, y'all. I know, moving again. This time, though, we may be moving into our own new home. We have been pre-approved, so knock on wood, we're going to be able to buy a new home, move in sometime around the new year, and then I will unpack all of that yarn that is currently very highly compressed. That's the reason why I'm holding off on dyeing the yarn. I don't want to open all of that and make it that much more difficult to transport during our move. So, holding off on dyeing the yarn. However, I have already dyed sample colors. Here are the fingering weight samples for the tonal colorways for the signature series. I might go ahead and dye up the variegated and speckled because I already have some of this yarn base unpacked. And so since it's already out, I might go ahead and do those so that I can work up some test versions of my new designs, photograph all of that. I can dye up this new colorway palette. There will already be patterns and pictures available for you. So that's what I'm going to concentrate on for the rest of the year. Of course, I'm going to take y'all along on that journey and document it, and you get to learn so that we can make and share knit and crochet fiber arts and crafts. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye. Y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, y'all means all.